I could tell you from being in business for some years, the old saying of if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business is about as true
Yeah.
as what it gets. And something like this really filled that gap for me because that is so important and so crucial off of how I do business. I've got to understand and know every single point of what all of my numbers and figures are. And on the lead side of this, it just solves that problem that I really honestly thought could never fully be solved. So if I was referring to another business owner, I would say this is a tool that is going to help you know your numbers better, and that's why I would consider getting started as soon as you can. I'm president of Wahoo Pools, located in Tampa, Florida. Wahoo Pools is a 10-year-old swimming pool construction company as well as a service company. Yeah, so our client is a little bit more of we've got a higher end brand, so we create and build some pretty nice custom pools as well as some standard pools as well too. On our servicing side of it, we take care of our customers on a weekly basis through dealing with chemical automation, service repairs. We do some swimming pool remodeling as well. Well, I'd say over the course of the past 10 years, Wahoo has a really neat brand that stands out to the public. So we really needed to find a way to reach our customers and engage them a little bit better with us so that we could kind of keep up with competition and more than anything, stand out against the competition. I've always been very hesitant, worked with a lot of different marketing companies, and what I always find is with most marketing companies is you can't really tell where your dollars are going. It's usually, hey, we're going to do some SEO work for you and build things up, and it's going to be great. Send them a bunch of money for a couple months. You say, I don't see anything, and they say, well, it's going to be a couple more months. And next thing you know, you've dumped, $10,000, $20,000 into this and didn't really get anything out of it. So I'd say with marketing, as a general thing, it's a tough spot for business owners to actually see the effects of what's happening and knowing that your dollar is going to the right thing. So
Yeah.
after kind of knowing and dealing with all of that stuff, I got to a point where I just said, you know what, I'm gonna devise and build my own plan that I can control. And I found you guys on an educational site, helping businesses like myself achieve these types of goals. And pretty much had started my services with you on helping us with teaching us how to do it. Then it got to a point where the trust just got built up with you guys, and it turned into more of a formal relationship that we deal with on a weekly basis with you more often. First off, I'll say that one of the biggest things that has changed is we really have built a better process with our leads. So standard over the course of the years, just kind of leads came in and they just kind of flowed in, and whoever would call them, and there was no real major system as to specifically how that would get handled. So what you guys have been able to do is create that process with our team, teach us the best way to handle our leads, how to nurture our leads. There's a lot of really good leads that come in, and just because we don't get back to people at the right amount of time, we can lose some really good opportunities. So you've taught us how to nurture these leads to a point where they last us a lot longer, and a lot of times they actually convert over. Some of the other pieces that I've found, which I think are huge, is standard companies use forms on their website to, capture data from clients, and that information usually comes in, and then we hand it off to the salesperson of choice. They reach out to them within 24 hours. By that time, I feel like a lot of the people tend to lose their interest or possibly have reached out to other people and have gotten just a little bit more attention. With your system and your lead nurturing management system, it has allowed us to have a 100% success rate on touching base with that client. And what I mean by that is a lead that comes in through a website, we're contacting them via phone, via email, getting no response. We're having approximately a 60% return off of the leads that we got from the internet. With your system, which automatically schedules these appointments for us, has given us a 100% success rate, which I know that sounds like a huge number, but that's just reality as to what it is. So, and regarding converting those leads over, we just stand a much bigger chance because we have, as I always tell my guys, we're constantly keeping the ball, in the client's court, right? So that is like one of those things where we're waiting on them for things. They're not waiting on us. And that's kind of the goal of where we want to get people positioned to, because when people are ready to buy, if we give them all the data that they need as fast as we can, we're going to just increase our chances of closing. And that's what this does. It's 100% the lead nurturing process. That is where we see the biggest effect off of what we do now compared to what we had done then, and the effects that we get off of it are just much greater. So this is our dashboard of information that tells us pretty much everything that's going on within the organization. This is our lead widget that shows us, as you can see in green, is the amount of jobs that we have proposed. This color is the amount that was converted. Here's what we have in change orders, expected profit, and what our conversion rate is. So what you're going to see here is in March, we have a lead base of 97 leads that came in. The amount of work that we proposed was 9.9 million, and we converted $800,000 of it, with a conversion rate of 18.6%. As we go down the line, you'll kind of see the same thing. Good amount of proposed work, a good conversion rate for the months. You can see here in May, same thing. And these were a little bit of sketchy months with our economy in general, but still able to do some good converting. The month here in June, same thing, pushing out a lot of proposed work, a lot of leads coming in, 125 leads in the course of the month. And then you can see just last month, 90 leads, $8 million worth of work proposed, but we ended up converting almost $1 million worth of work and profiting over $200,000 of expected money. So you can tell that these charts don't lie as to what comes in and what goes out. So I trust this in the course of what I do, and I feel a much greater effect of the items that we're converting. I was getting a little sketchy over the way the economy was acting, and I'm really glad that we chose a system like this that is starting to bring us back up to speed again.
Yeah, being able to install this custom tracking software has been able to capture all these leads from all these different sources, from Google, from Facebook, from wherever you get your leads. And you can track the conversion rate. You got all the metrics, the KPIs, so you can see where you need to improve, what needs to happen to be able to hit those metrics. So thank you, Dave, for sharing that. I believe we started working with you guys in April. It takes about 90 days is the sales cycle, right? So July was a really good month, is where we saw those leads starting to get converted. So let's talk about, what would you say are the differences you've noticed between working with us and other marketing agencies, freelancers in the past?
For me, that's really, again, with marketing companies, it's always a little bit of a sketch industry, if you ask me. And I never thought, honestly, I would find somebody that could take me away from believing anything different about it. But the thing is you guys have a lot of work on your end that you have to do, because you're proving what you're doing on our end. I can actually see the effects of this. Normal marketing, you really can't. And I might be able to see a pretty website, but I can't really understand where and how these leads are coming in and how we're capturing them, so that we can focus more on what that is. And that's what this does. And it's not just about a matter of leads coming in, it's understanding the source of where these leads are coming in, which is what really adds some huge value into it, that what you guys do, because you give me that report, and that report just shows me where all these leads specifically are coming in, and you're always able to create a recipe and come back and say, hey, here's where we're noticing a lot more movement. We want to kind of gear more of our Google Ads money directly into this versus that. And having that experience that you guys have to do that really obviously shows, based off of our numbers, that you definitely know what you're doing. I can confidently say that these guys are definitely going to help you bring in the leads that you want. You're definitely going to be able to see what your return is. It's a lot easier to figure out what your ROI is on your marketing with this type of a system versus just throwing money out there. Referring you guys, you know this already. Like, we brought you business, and we will continue to bring you more.